our second semifinal on Team Fire. He's the reason the LCK players can't sleep at night. The terror in the top lane, Smeb!
Y jugando para el equipo hielo. Llegó a España como jugador profesional, pero cuando se vaya estará en la lista de los asesinos más buscados por la Interpol. Es Maple. Buena suerte, caballeros.
Can you do that with my brain real quick?
I was about to say,
fix this one.
I need to get one of those buttons for my girlfriend. Just kidding, I'm crippling.
I was going to say, the follow-up to that is obviously easily, you don't have a girlfriend,
Yeah,
Crepo.
All right, let's keep going. So, looking at Team Ice, I was just running the math here, and there was 3 players from Team Ice in the top 4. So even if Smeb wins and gets the 250 points in the long run in the finals, he will only tie. It'll be 250 for Ice, 250 for Fire. However, if somebody takes down Smeb, it's going to be looking fantastic for Team Ice players in the overall scope of All-Stars.
Plus, a lot of the players have talked about it. In the 1 versus 1 mode, almost none of them care about the team factor. That this is almost all about personal glory. It's literally 1 versus 1. And Smeb definitely has that very high on his list. I mean, this is a guy that does not want to join SKT to play with Faker. Nope. He'd rather join any other team to play against him and be able to be the one to take Faker down.
But that's something you say after you have not joined SKT.
True. Which one came first? Did he get his invitation? Meanwhile, though, Maple has been one of the mid laners. We talk about Faker a little bit. This guy has been so close to that echelon. He's always been a top tier, definitely world caliber. He did just take down Mata in the famed Yasuo 1v1. So
he's just so pleasant to watch, and it's kind of a guaranteed seal of approval you get when you watch a Maple game. You know he's going to do at least something nice. He's always kind of average at worst is like the best way to describe Maple for me, but very often, very much so beyond average. He's still waiting for his pick. Smeb this time doesn't lock in. He's learned. I can actually wait a while. They can see my picks on the screen.
Quinn Hover here to start it off, but we do expect style, right, for both of these guys.
I've heard about Mordekaiser, by the way.
Oh, have you? Did you know no dragon on this map?
Damn it.
So, shoot, I forgot about that one. Oh, there we go. They already locked those ones in pretty quick, though.
Versus Kennen.
This kind of feels like Smeb was like, oh, yeah, the Yasuo thing, that's so cool. You guys are, like, doing that, right? I want to get it, too. And Mabel's like, I already did that, guy.
It's like when you use an old meme.
You're late. Yeah, you're so late to the party. You're, like, so excited. You arrive to the party. Hey, guys, me, Yasuo, too, right? Right? Guys?
I can play Yasuo.
Guys,
Mirror match.
Yasuo?
Is the Kennen a great matchup into it, though? Because a lot of it is skill shot based with the Q. But if you can land an auto attack and then W through the wind wall, that's what you want to do. But I feel like Yasuo should be fine.
I would definitely max my W as Kennen for this matchup. I mean, Shuriken, if you're super confident in it and you're going to be landing like the point blank ones when it charges on you, then but
W max is the way to go for Kennen top lane traditionally when you play versus melee champions. That has always been it. The only reason people shift to Q is because the range champions are just too far away. But yeah, you just get double value from leveling it up, just like you said. Not only does the initial arc damage go up, you can proc it again as well. Proc it more often.
Always love seeing Yasuo's, though. And despite all the memes from solo queue and stuff, I love Yasuo, whether he's on my team or on the enemy team. He's just a fun champion to watch.
I mean, as a support player who tends to go for kind of setup champions, Yasuo is just so fun to have on your team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess that it makes sense that we both like him because we're both the sort of setup roles.
Because we're too bad to actually play the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god, look what that guy's doing. He's so good at this game.
I'm helping.
Exactly.
I pressed Q once. Smeb running Dorns, much more efficient. He might actually go for a tank Yasuo again here. Let's see what he's pairing that Dorn shield with.
I mean, these trades, wow, we can be like, oh yeah, look, he's losing. It's super early in the game, so they can just walk all the way back and try and get a recall off.
Yeah, he's testing the waters, honestly.
I wonder if he actually will, though. He's staying pretty late in the brush, and he's got...
he
definitely came out worse for wear on that trade. He's staying with the minions.
Yeah. Maple getting the early push here and the sustain from the Dorns. So Smeb kind of surprised by the damage from W start Kennen. Procs the shield immediately as well. That's good. That one auto attack from Maple depletes the shield for Smeb, putting him behind again.
Definitely was one of the good changes they made to Yasuo, and they were looking for ways to nerf him. I like that they nerfed the time where the shield has to charge back up, because that's one of the most annoying parts about the Yasuo. Building that shield back up from moving around. Maple actually getting very good last hits.
Yeah, definitely doing a great job here. Looking at Smeb also, his runes, he's running both magic resistance and armor, no health, indicating that his kind of having to defend against Kennen is twofold. You know, you can't just single spec into flat armor or flat MR like you can get into most champions, you know, that are very one-dimensional. The fact that Kennen is hybrid in its nature makes him so hard to play against.
Definitely true, and Smeb goes in with the knock-up charge. Now can he get
Minions
out
coming,
of that
though.
trade, though?
Yeah, minions tanking, good exhaust here. He had one exit creep remaining with the E.
Yeah, so not so good exhaust, and
He basically forgot about the approaching minion wave. outside of
exactly.
Maple.
You always have to keep that in mind with Yasuo. That's what makes him so tricky, right? You can use your own minions against you. Going in for another trade here, actually. They both do have Warlords, by the way, though. So healing up off of the minion damage.
And it's definitely W max Kennen because there's 29% attack speed on the side of Maple. So he really just wants to repetitively auto those minions like we've been seeing, generate that CS. He may drop a couple because his AD isn't as high, but he wants to control the wave and as many of these procs as he can to then stun Smeb as he goes in.
And it is always so hard to get wave control against Yasuo if you're just relying on autos. Because as you can see, Smeb, jeez. I'm having a very good...
That's fine, Kobe. I got you. I love the fact that he plays the wind wall when he's done CSing, places the wind wall, goes for undeniable Q poke, and then he hides the brush again, waits for that shield to come up again.
Now he's trying to use his ranged minions.
Yeah, cycle through. It's always just the possibility of an engage that's keeping Maple back as well. Good double asset with the Q here. Smeb showing some Yasuo know-how.
I wonder if he does try and take advantage of the summoner spell discrepancy here that he has earned for himself. Currently, he's not trying to. You know, he's just shoving in the minion wave, trying to keep his CS up here.
Yeah, and following that talk that we did earlier about the points, if Smeb falls here, Ice is guaranteed to win the All-Stars event. So he definitely needs to
and not just the 1v1s, by the way, the All-Star events.
Yeah.
There's so many points in the 1v1 tournament.
Yep, he will lose his right to play in the final for a combined 400 points there. But let's see, we're not there yet. It's the first game of best of 3. Smeb is up 2 CS, but there is CS under the turret from Maple, and it doesn't matter how good he's trading. If he's trailing CS, Kennen can control the game later on.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
No sweep
if
from
they
Maple.
keep on grinding here. Yeah, there's the sweeper, but not going to go for the rash. Remember, it is the focus on the minions.
Almost like hypnotizing. We're just watching the screen.
Well, because I'm going through the plan, right? For
What's the plan?
Smeb. I'm trying to get into Smeb's head, and it's too difficult because
You don't speak Korean.
I'm not exactly. Oh no, actually, I got in the head. Now I just have to figure out what he's saying in there. But you could go try. I'm trying to think if he's trying to get to a specific gold point, right? Because there's a possibility with the level 6 to try and go for the all-in.
Hex Drinker?
Hex Drinker is the obvious choice. I'm trying to think because there's not really any other super big spiking item. And as you said, Kennen definitely is very big on the hybrid damage, but also Kennen also has a lot of stuns and a lot of disengage where he can try and, you know, kite there.
Yeah, not worth, I think.
Kite out your Hex Drinker shield.
Yeah, definitely can kite, but it's not worth specking into like Merc Feds. That would be a complete waste of stats. Tenacity is definitely not what we're going for. Hex Drinker is the likely choice. I think Smeb's just waiting for a moment where he can push the wave hard enough that he has a good base timing.
Yeah.
He is actually no longer trailing on CS. Every time he pushes under turret, there is the risk of Maple losing some CS. A good sidestep, hides behind the range piece when he needs to, then goes for the brush. Good trade, wind wall to deny auto Q. Really well played by Smeb as he has the shield on the backhand.
Only loses the shield health there. Plus, with both of them having Warlords, double effectiveness for... Oh!
Yeah, this is ulti versus ulti. Smeb needs to land a Q proc into R. If he hits the next Q, it could be over. Remember, it places you outside of the turret if you can.
Okay.
That's a good change they made to Yasuo as well, or maybe it was from the get-go. If you ulti somebody under turret, the game will place you as far away as it can from the turret down.
Will Maple expect it? Yeah, there we go. The sweeper to find him in there. Smeb was sticking around. And he's going to gain so much life off the minion wave, remember. Because Smeb has control of the minion wave and melee double effectiveness on the Warlord's lifesteal, that's why he's been sustaining a bit better than Kennen.
But he has to go for, honestly, a really tanky build right now because he's down a summoner. Maybe in the chaos of that all-in, he didn't realize that Maple held on to the exhaust.
Yeah, and that is one of those timers that's much more difficult to keep track of, rather than the super easy flash everyone's used to for Summoner's Rift. Meanwhile,
well, you have your own exhaust.
So, yeah, I mean, if you use them at the same time. Yeah. But if they're desynced, very difficult. But again, so much attack speed here for Maple, doubling down on it. And no Hex Drinker. Yeah, nope. So he is going for something else here, special. I mean, it's either the Sterx Gauge or the Frozen Mallet, which would be a long ways off. So
probably just wants the
Charm's Fist to hold on to that.
Yeah,
that one, to me though, it's actually not very efficient, and you have to stack it up. So I don't really like the item.
Indicating he is going for a CS victory unless he just lands a good all in here. Smeb taking a lot of damage here because this is an enraged Kennen here. Needs the Relic to get out. Second stun is coming right now on this mark. Ooh, they just faded.
Yeah, need one more. Blood Moon charges. Uh-oh.
Now this is the attack speed Kennen.
Yeah.
Good goal for current victory, honestly.
Winlaw definitely puts a stop to that.
Because we have attack speed boots picked up by Maple and double door, and this is kind of a really efficient point for this 80-centric Kennen, or attack speed centric Kennen rather. Doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah, and you're also limited to 2 Dorans, so it's not like you can just spam a bunch of Dorans.
Nope.
They've already chosen their Doran's items. Meanwhile, Smeb didn't pick up any other items, so that was a very good exchange from Maple, and he just got more potions. So he's no more combat effectiveness there, just extra sustain, which he didn't have a big problem with before.
Now he does. Kennen's getting stronger, obviously, on the later basis, so you don't have like one win wall every so often. That maybe is the problem. And then, as Maple gets tankier and has access to exhaust and ulti, the all-in is less likely to happen. Really good counter stun here by Maple. He basically had a mark, W proc, or he EW proc, as he had a mark on him already to deny Smeb the opportunity of ulting on that knockup, and now he's going all in.
He does get the ulti off though,
Exhausted. He's too far away from the relic. He needs to get the relic, but it's too far. That is obviously the problem with Yasuo. The damage of the ulti lands at the end of the animation, which makes it incredibly easy to exhaust.
And this is the second time that we've seen one of the players blow both summoners at the same time.
For one.
Yet be the ones to start up the exchange later when their opponent had the exhaust advantage.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you said, sometimes you forget the opponent did not use both summoners at once. Maple, just like Uzi, had the extra exhaust. Pretty easy victory right there for him. In game number 1, though, this is a best of 3. Smeb and Fire still have a chance.
But that is, honestly, I think what happened. I think Smeb must have forgotten in the chaos of that first
what happened?
That the exhaust was still available. Because if you land that, maybe you survive for a bit longer, you get an extra shield up again. It can all turn the tides. You can get to the relic maybe, but suddenly you're slower as Yasuo. Your ulti get negated. It's so hard to play Yasuo if you get exhausted right before you take that damage.
Yeah, definitely agree. We'll see what he changes up for the next game, because Maple definitely willing to go with those ranged champions into the Yasuo, and we'll have to see something different. Smeb said he wanted to win with style. The first part of that is you have to win.
Win, yeah. when you're not
losing with style.